So, good morning, everyone. We are going to have our mock interviews today. But before we have the mock interviews, you may now go to the shared sheet and you can see which candidate is allocated which panel or which panel is allocated which candidate. Now, in the same shared sheet, you will have sheet number 3, where against each panel number, I have given the name of the candidate according to the number of members in the panel. Okay. I've given you the candidates according to the number of panel members. Now, before we start our mock interviews, there are 2 3 instructions which I need to give to you, which you're supposed to take care when you do your mock interviews. So very first thing that you need to take care is, per candidate you are supposed to ask a minimum of 3 questions and a maximum of 5 per candidate. Minimum of 3 questions and maximum of 5. Next, you may pick up any question from the entire list. You may pick up any question from the entire list. Not necessary your panel, which questions you have made, the same you will ask. You may ask any question from the list. Plus, remember in our preparation for interview, we had a point which is the candidate should expect the unexpected. So I would request you to ask an unexpected question. That is, which is not in the list, right? So how do you connect your hobby with your branch of education? Have you done some real life project and can you explain as a project? Something. Whatever you may want to ask, you may. Thirdly, right now in the beginning, I'm going to give you some time to discuss with your panelists who asks which question. Let's say candidate 1, you have to start with your interview. We go candidate 1 2 3 in order, but we'll not go in order panel 1 2 3. Okay, I'll give you the order. I'm just right now, after I give the instruction, I'll give you the order in which the interviews will be there. So let's say interviewer 1 asks, introduce yourself to candidate 1. Then interviewer 1 cannot ask candidate 2 to introduce himself. That some other interviewer can ask. So what you are supposed to do is, don't tell the candidates which question you are asking, but decide amongst yourself. Right? I want it to be a smooth flow. Right? So you decide amongst yourself which interviewer is asking which question to the candidate. What will be the order? Let's say you have person, let's say I'll talk about myself and one of my colleagues. So Dr. Pooja will ask question 1, and question 1 is this to candidate 1. Now you know the candidate name, so you can always make a note in your book that this is this person we are going to ask these questions, right? Then question 2 again Dr. Pooja will ask. Question 3 Dr. Mihir will ask. Question 4 Dr. Vipul will ask. Then again question number 5 Dr. Mihir will ask. Okay, I'm taking names from my colleagues. Similarly, what you can do is, let's say I'll take the example of panel 2 because there are 3 members. So your candidate 1 is Nehil. Okay. So Nesargi asks first question. Then Himali asks second question. Then Nesargi asks third question. Fourth and fifth question Vartika asks. Right. But that order you decide, as you are the panel member. You within your panel, you have to decide, okay, we want to ask this question. So that what happens is, why this activity, 10-minute activity before the actual mock interview is, so that when we do the interview, it goes as smoothly as if it was in a real time scenario, right? You have to consider that as if you are appearing for an interview right away. So you start with good morning, and the panelist would tell you, please have a seat, make yourself comfortable. You say thank you, and then the panelist asks, would you tell us something about yourself? It should be a smooth flow, as if it is not something which we have planned, but it is working as it should work, right? So 10 minutes of time I'm giving to decide within your panel that who will ask which question to the candidate. You may select the question from the list which is given. I'll not allow you to refer back to the list. Okay, neither the candidate nor the interviewer, you cannot refer back to the list. What you can do is, you can always take a note of it, right, that you want to ask this question. Now to the candidates, when you answer the question, you may use what we have written as an answer. or you may frame the answer on your own, not necessary to go by what is written. You may frame it on your own. These answers which we have made, they are kind of guidelines that what is expected. You can pick up the keywords and you can form the sentences on your own. I hope I'm making myself clear. I hope we are clear about how the mock interview will go. Okay. You were supposed to do group discussion, but is everybody present again? And are we ready? Okay, in your group, one member is absent. Other groups? Other groups hardly even remember whether we are doing what. Other groups? Group 1. Okay. In the same group, we have two things, 3 members and 2 members. So total 5 members absent. Sorry for the interruption. It was an important call that needed to be taken. Okay, so are we ready to do the group discussion? I see the number of people reducing. Do both the groups want to do group discussion? I started with the interview thing because of the number of people which I see on the screen, right? One of you could just unmute and tell me whether we are ready to do the group discussion or not. See, even if one group is ready, I do not have a problem. I actually wish you do the group discussion so that we have an idea about things.
Yes, ma'am, we are ready.
Okay, so you don't mind you doing the group discussion first, right? Naisargi and group.
Yeah, ma'am, no problem.
Yeah. So just a minute. Give me a minute. I'll just showcase your topic. I've got a PPT ready for group discussion. Just give me a minute. I'll quickly open it and we can have the topic there on the screen as well. If I'm not mistaken, this is the topic, group 2.
Ma'am, screen isn't visible.
Screen isn't visible, just a minute. Now is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is the topic, right? We're not mistaken with the
Yeah.
topic. Yeah. So whenever you are ready, you and your group, you may start. I'm giving 1 or 2 minutes so that you can have the initial setup, and then you may start the group discussion. I'll mute myself so that clarity is there.
Okay, sure, ma'am. Ma'am, just in 2 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, no problem. Just within 2 minutes, you start on your own. I'll not say start and stop now because muting, unmuting would create a little chaos over here. So whenever you are ready, within 2-3 minutes, you may start.
Good morning, everyone. We are moving forward for a group discussion on how India fared in fighting coronavirus compared to developed countries. When studying of the outbreak, two phases remains important. The first 100 cases and every case after the first 100. India took almost 3 months to reach the first 100 positive case of corona. Thus, we can say that it then multiplied over many times the next 10 days or the next few days. Comparatively, Japan saw a 13% daily increase in cases before reaching 100 cases and 8.1% daily increase in cases from its 100th case to the latest one.
Yeah, and the World Health Organization said India's COVID fight could make or break the global world. India has a tremendous capacity to deal with the pandemic as it is experience of eradicating smallpox and polio.
But I would like to add to that there is a massive slowdown of the Indian economy. Analysts and the industry say that lockdown may have cost the Indian economy around 7 to 8 lakh crores during just the initial 21 period. 70% of the economic activity and investments have come to a standstill. The World Bank has scaled down India's GDP growth to around like 3% for the current fiscal year, which would be the lowest expansion since the 91-92 crisis. As COVID 19 is dragging down activities, it's already slowing down the initially slowed economy. It had earlier projected the economic growth to be 6.1% for 2020-21.
But there are some positive points too, as in it gave everyone more time for family and passion. For the middle class of India, work from home has given more time for family and for pursuing hobbies and passion. A lot of people are connecting back to basic like yoga and meditation in times of crisis. This may have a positive impact in long term.
But that feels like it is speaking from a position of privilege because you cannot ignore the sufferings of the migrant workers. More than 90% of the country's workforce is estimated to be from the informal sector. The announcement left little or almost no time to preparation for daily workers who were forced to travel back to their hometowns hundreds of kilometers afoot as their sources of incomes had dried.
But in my opinion, the government of India on its part has done significantly well. But in nearly every town and city, citizens are behaving irresponsibly, particularly in large wholesale markets like vegetable markets. Communities now have a huge responsibility to stay safe and help others to be safe. Law enforcers across the nation have become a splendid job, even at the cost of their lives and their families.
There is a feeling of isolation in teams where close collaboration is required. Office culture, the energy and the vibe when coming together in the office space is missing. Plus, there is a possibility of meeting fatigue over video calls when compared to meeting in person, especially with larger teams. Company thrives on a shared goal, ideas, and work culture. These are highly motivating factors for an employee. Large companies invest a lot of time and effort in creating a work culture that brings out best in employees. This cannot be created or sustained when employees work from home. Also, there was panic and fear in citizens. When the central government announced lockdown, it instilled a lot of fear in the minds of people and led to panic buying since the government had not clearly mentioned what was included in the list of essential items.
And also the provision of rations in the form of wheat, rice, and pulses for the 3-month period under the PM Garib Kalyan package has certainly been hailed as a step in the right directions.
And you can't forget the reduction in pollution levels. Thanks to the lockdown, there has been a drastic decrease in the level of pollution in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Bangalore, and Hyderabad by almost 70%. According to the World Air Quality, the average concentration of PM is 2.5 in New Delhi has come down 71%. It is a 50% improvement in water pollution too.
It is difficult to fully determine whether the lockdown has been beneficial, particularly due to India's low testing rates. But one can conclude that India is in a better position than other countries in the fight against COVID-19 as a result of right decisions taken at right time. Also, one can confidently say that the country has expanded its health infrastructure at a rapid pace to deal with the pandemic. Also, PM Narendra Modi said that the fight against coronavirus, India has come to a point where it does not lack its awareness, its scientific data is expanding and resources are also increasing. Thus, the deaths due to coronavirus in India are much lower than being expected. Thank you.
So we've concluded it.
Yes, ma'am.
So, uh, group number one or other members who were not into the group discussion, you want to give a little feedback to them? Members of group one, you want to give feedback to them? So you have got very nice classmates, okay? They don't want to say anything. Fine. If not they, then I have to be the devil's advocate. I have to do it, right? So first thing, so now see, there's somebody now wants to be the devil's advocate. They like the word. The Shubham is saying uh, the group discussion was excellent. I also hold the same opinion. Okay, well done for first time group discussion. It was exceptionally well done, nicely worked out, good usage of, in my opinion, I really support the idea. You have words like that were being used in the group discussion. That was very, very nicely done, a smooth transition of from one idea to another idea. Now the only problem that I see over here is, how much time did we ask you to speak for? Somewhere around 15 minutes, and you started somewhere around 9:52, 9:53, 7 minutes. It's very good for a first time group discussion, and that also on an online platform. But remember, time is also of crucial a crucial point in group discussion. Okay, it's like a balance that you need to maintain. Had it been somewhere around 12, 13 minutes, would not be a problem. Okay, I'm not saying 15 means exact 15, but what it means to say, it should be above 10. So little more points to be discussed is what I would suggest over here. Otherwise, whatever was done very well. It was like very well prepared, good rehearsal you might have done if you have, and if not rehearsed and you did it on one go, then it is very admirable that you did it in that way, right? So next topic, whenever we like, if group one wants to do a group discussion, we can have one more topic again. So group one, do we wish to do a group discussion? Group one, yes. So I'll change the slide to your topic, and group number two, you may observe what they speak. So group one, I'm giving you 2-3 minutes of preparation time. Preparation time in the sense, if the moment you say you are ready, you may start. I'll mute myself so that you don't have any technical issues, right? So I'm muting myself. Whenever you are ready, group one, you will start with the topic.
Hello friends, good morning. I start of coronavirus of impact on global warming. Coronavirus pandemic, which was first detected in China, has infected people in 198 countries. spread has left business around the world counting cost and wondering what is recovery could look like. Here is a selection of a chart and maps to help you understand for economic impact of virus.
Global shares in flux, big shifts in stock market where shares in companies are bought and sold can affect the value of pensions or individual saving accounts. The FTSE Dow Jones Industries Average and the nickel all saw huge falls as number of COVID-19 cases grow.
In response of central banks and many countries including the UK, an interest rate that should be borrowing chapter and encourage spending to economy. Global
Glo-
market have since recovered some ground as government have intervened, but some analysis have warned the could be volatile until fears of second wave of the pandemic are eased.
More people seeking work. Many people have lost their jobs or seen their income cut due to the coronavirus crisis. Unemployment rates have increased across the major economy as a result. In the United States, the proportion of the people out of work has hit 10% according to the International Monetary Fund, signaling an end to decade of expansion for one of the world's largest economies.
Risk of the reaction. If the economy is growing, that generally means more wealth and more new jobs. It measured by looking the percentage change in the gross and domestic product or the value of a good and service product, typically over 3 months of a year. Right.
However, the data differs between countries. France, Germany, and Italy provide figures on application. For example, whereas the UK count workers currently enrolled in the scheme, but there have since been some sign of recovery in the global job market. China and France, for example, have seen increase in hiring rates as shutdowns eased, according to networking platform LinkedIn.
Oil price, oil price recovery. Demand for oil all but dried up to lockdown across the world keep people inside. The crude oil price had already has been affected by the drop between open the ground group of oil products and Russia. Corona drops the price down further. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Although it said that the coronavirus has plugged the world into crisis like no other, it does impact on global growth to rise up to 5.8% next year if the pandemic fades in the second half of 2020. The travel industry has been badly damaged with airlines cutting flights and customer canceling business trips and holidays. Many countries introduced the travel restriction to try to contain the virus.
Done, ma'am.
Okay, you have completed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, group number 2, do you wish to give some feedback to them? Again, good classmates, no feedback. Okay, you got feedback. It was very good. Okay, excellent. Done. But again, the same issue that group two had. It is time. Okay. If you see the time, it's not even 10:10. So below 10 minutes is what we will say over here again, right? Because what's happening is when they ask you to manage things in a group discussion, they're going to check all the skills, right? And one of the skills is time management. Right? One of the skills that we should possess, we have in our syllabus as well. In unit number 5, we have time management and how to manage time and all, right? So time management is also one thing that we need to do. Now let's do one thing. We did this with group lab batch A and B as well. Now before we take up the second topic for group discussion, let's do a second round as well, but I give you 5 to 7 minutes so that you can rethink how you can increase your time a little bit. Right now you have an idea that, see, most of us are speaking 3 4 points. So now you need to increase at least 2 points per person in the group so that you can increase a little more time, right? I'm actually trying to work it out the mathematical way, right? After speaking 2 3 points, you are somewhere around making 7 to 8 minutes. So if everybody increases their speech by 2 or 3 more points, you will go a little above 10 minutes, right? So what I'm doing is, for the second topic that you have for each of the groups, now this time let's have group 1 doing it first, and then we'll have group 2. Okay, one time group 2 first, then group 1, that way. So now in the second round we'll have group 1 and then we'll have group 2. But I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. It's 10:10. By 10:15 you discuss with your group and try to stretch the time. When I say stretching the time, I mean in a positive, logical manner. Try to stretch the time a little above 10. All right, 5 minutes I'm giving. Even we have given it in lab batch A and B. They've also done the same thing. Before doing the second topic of group discussion, they took 5 minutes of time to recollect their thoughts, to think about it again. And what you can do is, because in your lab batch we only have two groups, and you have still two topics with you, you can select any one topic, right? You tell me which topic you are selecting out of the two, or if you wish we can do all the three. That is again not a problem for me. All right, so you decide which topic you want to take up right now within 5 minutes, and you work it out with your group members. I'm giving you 5 minutes of time. Work it out with your group members, and then we'll start. Okay, so that you can increase a little time. Fine, that's the only thing I need to we need to work up on in this class. And 5 minutes of thinking time given to you, starting from now.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, change slide.
Yeah. So which topic have you selected? The very next one or the last one?
Next one.
Just a minute. Let me display the topic. So if somebody in the group has forgotten, they can have a look at it. This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So if you are ready and the group is ready, we may start.
Hello, friends. Is Make in India, the product is manufactured inside the country of border. There is huge gain from it like an increase in export and fulfilling the requirement of the country's people. It increase the skill and develop the brain of the people in the country. It lead to an increase in employment in the country and help the country's people earn the money. Make for India help manufacture product for India, but the manufacture can be any country. This may lead to an increase in import, which is to harm the country currency. This day, many countries like China, Germany, Russia manufacture product for India, which is a large share in to the Indian market. This shall increase import and harm Indian currency. Make for India should be linked with Make in India so that more export than import, the country currency will become fine.
In my opinion, both Make in India and Make for India are outcomes that generally bode well of India. Though they differ in approach, they have similar aim of developing India. So I think our country requires a blend of both ideas. Make for India is a subset of Make in India, and both are interlinked. Make in India is an input for a stronger and self-reliant India. The logo of Make in India campaign is a lion having many cogs or wheels with series of projection on its edge. The indicates peaceful progress answer way to the vibrant future of country. The lion represents courage, strength, and wisdom.
Make in India is not a new concept, or it is initialized in 2014. But due to current situation of pandemic, we are faced today a boost to this concept. Now we are thinking about our strength. Our manufacturing capability is not a mark we require. We totally depend on other countries for manufacturing and importing products because they are available in cheap and also be more rely on this product and product even today have a low quality. From children's toy to smartphone, everything we buy is not benefiting our nation. This has to change in the achieved by creating new opportunity and product. We have made product in India. Manufacturing unit must be improved. On the hand, government should encourage and give stuff. In turn, they provide wide range of the employment. Make in India and Make for India may lead to carry research and development in the various fields. We can have a sufficient job for our young population, which make us strong can be world.
I think the world says if we rearrange will complement each other. Make in India and Make for India. Here, Make in India will be an output for stronger and self-reliant India as an output. Make in India will generate employment, enhance skills, build process, accelerate the economy, and India can emerge stronger. There is a need to join different dots by government, institutes, industries for participation of all in the economy where the profits are shared by all, which is shift from the prevailing scenes where only the losses are shared by all in terms of defaults and NPA.
Make in India is initialized by our Prime Minister PM Modi in 30th September 2014. Make in India means we make the product in our country and useful for India to increase our economic growth and employment. India is developing country. Lot of people don't have a job because people from a poor family easily get a job. Use of manufacturing company provide job. It also helps to increase our GDP. If we export to our product for foreign countries, it helps to increase economic growth of our country.
India is developing country and its population is increasing day by day. The, the jobs in India are much lesser than their population. This causes unemployment. So if the products are made in India, then will lead to more jobs. It will also increase the country's GDP and increase economy. We can also export the products. Make for India shows that our country is not that developed and it needs to in every sector, whether it is industry, science, IT, or anything. It shows that our country cannot produce its own products.
Make in India will generate employment, enhance skill, build process, and the economy and Indian can stronger. There is need to join different the government, institutes, industries for participation all economy where the profits are shared by all, which is a shift from a thing where only losses are terms and default.
I think that make in India and make for India means we have to produce products here and that should be used for our India first. But we are importing most of the things rather than exporting. This decreases the employment rate also.
Made in India is India similar to Make in India. Main ambition to increase the GDP of India and to reduce the import of non-oil import from other countries and also to improve the employment problem of India, which is major factor affected on GDP.
Make in India is actually plan taken by government. It's better to take decision before the problem. Think of China. Most of their products are sold here. We even get it as it is the lowest price. Even make for India might be good in few times as poor can't afford high cost things and most of making for India is less cost. Everything is good until it's up to limit. So reduce the make for India and increase the make in India.
Done, ma'am. Completed.
You can say a thank you to indicate that you have completed. Okay. Next time. That's a suggestion. But this time, if you see you have increased the time, somewhere you have gone a little over 10 minutes, not more. But I hope you can see the improvisation that is happening. All right. So, group 2, do we have a feedback for them? Please compare their own performance of topic 1 and topic 2. Right? You could see people talking, you could see people naming different things, and increase in the time has also happened. Somewhere around 10.5 minutes is what I have seen over here. Right? Excellent. Now, shall we have group 2? Group 2, which topic have you selected? The same one in line? Okay. So group 2, whenever you are ready, you may start. Just giving you initial 1 or 2 minutes where you may, get ready, and then you can start. Okay. Group 2, when you are ready, you may start. Okay.
Good morning, everyone. My group members and I am here for the group discussion on should national anthem be played in cinema halls or not. Nowadays, there's a new thing in the scene. That is, the national anthem is being played in theaters. Does playing national anthem before the movies really bring respect? The answer is a big no, because not everybody there is as patriotic to stand and salute the feeling for which it is played. Cinema halls contain people from different places and different natures. Cinema halls contain public of some who may have patriotism and may stand up for the good cause. But what about others who are not even interested in upcoming trailers, who are more interested in upcoming trailers and arranging their seats? It would be disrespect to our nation's pride, nation's anthem, and even it won't bother them at all. Why force feed patriotism, I would say? Patriotism comes out of love and respect for one's nation, and that cannot be force fed to anyone by any means, just by making them stand up and while playing the national anthem and national flag is on view. Patriotism is a feeling that should come from within us. Thus, one cannot be forced to stand up and pay respect, especially when they are for refreshment there.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, Naisaki, but I have come across this reason and I'd like to tell you about it. In some places of India, while the movie was going on, in a particular scene, there was a national anthem being played. The whole theater, there was only one man stood up in respect to our country. The rest of them were just involved in the scene. That person filed a case in the court regarding this issue, and the court has made it mandatory henceforth to play national anthem before starting any.
Yeah, I would like to include that people are so involved in the movie that they don't even notice that the national anthem is being played. In this way, they are losing their respect for the nation. I don't know if national anthem should be played in cinema halls or not, but it is our duty to stand up and salute whenever it is being played as a part of the movie too. There is nothing wrong with playing it also because at least that time we get to remember of our country.
I know that you would be thinking, what's wrong in it? It's just to show your respect and just to show that how proud Indians are about their national anthem. But national anthem is national anthem. It is not any party song which people can enjoy. We can't force anyone to stand in. If anyone is stubborn and not standing, so will it be the reason for fight in the hall? But that people come here to enjoy their day. So it should not be played in the cinema hall.
I too would like to add an experience of mine. I went for movie Ghazi. Everybody stood while playing national anthem at the beginning of movie and felt proud. But when the same anthem was played as a part of movie, nobody stood. When a person tried to stand up and give respect, he felt ashamed because he is the only person to stand and thus that way. When I discussed this situation, my friend replied that according to Supreme Court's instruction, if anthem was played as a part of movie, there is no compulsion to stand. But if it was played separately, there is a compulsion to stand. I thus have a question: who has right to tell us when to give and when not to give respect to our national anthem? I would say respect comes from soul, not from compulsion. Teach everyone the values and beliefs of the country, then automatically patriotism will come from the soul.
Every coin has two sides. As in the same manner, I agree that this topic also has some negative points. Thus, I would like to add my own opinion. Standing up to your country's national anthem is not to prove patriotism, but to instill the feeling of love, pride, and respect for your motherland. People going to watch a movie stand in line for tickets and popcorn for too long sometimes. People stand hours when they have to, but wouldn't care spending a few minutes to pay respect to their own national anthem. Thus, I surely think that it's a correct decision by Supreme Court. Just how hard is it to show some respect and unity to your country's flag and anthem?
Exactly, I agree with Mehit. It should be played in cinema hall, as we all know that national anthem is not only song, it's an emotion for our motherland. It shows the pride and dignity of our country. Before starting of the movie, we can take a little time to sing the national anthem, though it's not very long. We know that cinema is the place of entertainment. Making fun of things does not mean that we forget our ethics or our culture. I'm not against anyone's views, but this is my own personal opinion.
But I would say, why only cinema halls? Cinema halls aren't a place to instill patriotism. It is a place where people come to rejuvenate and enjoy a Capri or can once in a while a good movie. Most importantly, why should this order be confined to cinema halls only? Other public places like railway stations, airports, and many other places could be told to play national anthem. Parliament should also begin the session with the national anthem.
Yeah, exactly. I too would say that it's not the right place. The most scared tune of a nation played before the double meaning comedies cracked, vulgar jokes and playing songs. There is more formal place for national anthem to be played than in a cinema hall.
But if the logic for playing the national anthem at places where a sizable number of people are congregated, then to that logical conclusion, this should be extended to various places like dance or music recitals, etc. To take this even further, why not every sitting of court would also have national anthem plays before the court function? Uh, Playing the national anthem in theaters was actually a part of the routine. It was played at the end of the film around 3 decades ago and it was given up, largely as a result of the tendency of the section of audience to walk out when it was being played. To reintroduce it, it is now given the impression that cinema should forever be the main site for demonstration of patriotism.
But I feel that if anyone stands for 52 seconds for country, that would not the matter of any harm to him, and the soldiers of our country do his duty for 24 hours by just standing in the border for protecting us from external attack. Is he only responsible for our life? Today we are living safely in our country because of nationalism, and if you stand for 52 seconds, it fed nationalism in us, and automatically feeling of patriotism comes to us.
According to me, the national anthem should be played after the movie is over. A viewer in a movie hall sees various scenes which excite him. There can be songs, dances, fights, which are common. The viewer should share their excitement while leaving the cinema halls and not carry forward to the real world outside. Psychologically, it can do great service to society.
In my opinion, the national anthem should be played in the cinema halls as no one attends the national anthem daily, and also it reminds everyone about the unity of our country and polishes the patriotism in one's mind. Standing for 52 seconds is not a difficult task, but showing respect to our national anthem is a sign of patriotism which one should surely inculcate to soldiers who are serving our nation at the borders, even in negative temperatures. According to me, the people of India who do not stand for even our national anthem have no right to call them Indians.
After the whole discussion, I would like to say that playing and giving respect to our national anthem is our duty, and in fact, it's very important in our life because we are citizens of India, and it shows our pride for our country and our nationality. In the cinema halls, every age is presented, and it's a very good environment because no one knows each other. All are unknown, but because of national anthem, we get connected to each other and sing it together. And also, in this era, senior children use only mobile phones and play games, but when they go to cinema halls, they learn to show love and respect to one's nation. Also, it's just 52 seconds standing. Our soldiers play their duty, and because of them, we laugh easily and live tension free. So we can't stand erect for even 52 seconds, pay tribute to our nation, and show our love.
Conclusion. So I would like to conclude that national anthem should be played in theaters, but no one should be forced to stand, as it's one's own choice whether to show respect and patriotism towards the nation or not. Thank you.
Thank you, Group 2. So, Group 1, do we have any feedback for them? So excellent in terms of information, excellent also in terms of presentation and improvisation in the time period as well. Right. So, would we like to do the third topic as well? I'm asking both the groups. Would you like to do the third topic in the group discussion as well? You might have prepared for the same. Yes, and if I insist, it's not an Indian wedding where I have to say, please, ek aur laddu kha lo. Tamare to khauj pade. It's a democratic, okay? I love democracy, the concept of democracy. I am not insisting, I'm asking. Would you like to do it? A simple yes and no can help me. Yes. Okay. You don't mind doing it. That's great. So, should I give 5 minutes just like we did for topic 2? 5 minutes so that you can recollect your thoughts and then we can start. This time, group 2 first and then group 1. Right. So, 5 minutes I'm giving so that you can recollect your thoughts and then we can start. Okay. We'll start at 10. We'll start at 10:50. Okay. So group 2, you can start whenever you are ready. I'll just switch the slide to your topic. So whenever you are ready, you may start. Group number 2.
Good morning, everyone. We're now moving forward for our third group discussion. Is online education the new normal? I would like to start by saying that one can definitely say that the future careers are going to become more dependent on technology. Thus, the earlier integration into an educational pathway, the easier it is for these skills to become native to our students.
Yeah, exactly. And online learning and education can be fun. The wealth of tools, apps, and platforms available for educators and teachers is staggering, and it gives them ability to enjoy their educational practices by introducing new concepts and materials that can make learning more fun. Digital textbooks are not only more convenient but cuts down on harming the environment. Learning while saving the planet, what more needs to be said?
But in a classroom, students subconsciously prepare themselves for the lessons. Even teachers can easily understand whether students have grasped a concept, whereas with online class, you have to go ahead believing the students will surely contact you if they have doubts.
But you cannot avoid the reduction in cost. Online education can cost less due to a variety of reasons. For example, there is no cost for communicating, or sorts costs that are related to transport such as fuel, parking, car maintenance, and public transport. Costs don't affect the online students.
I would like to add that the teachers are able to prep their students in different ways. Educators can use multiple choice quizzes, discussion boards, forums, short videos, and other elements to help students better prepare for exams, dissertations, and written assignments.
On the contrary, students may wander off from or lose their focus on the lesson, especially since there are other competing sources of attention in their devices. Thus, one needs discipline and self-motivation to engage and actively take part in the course.
But you can take it positively, as in students become more responsible as technology requires them to work on their own. One thing distance education and online learning does is they push the students to become more self-disciplined and self-motivated in order to complete their class, course, or degree. This is a valuable skill that translates well in the workplace as well as in the life in general.
Interestingly, the virtual world is offering new possibilities to 600,000 Indian students who annually head overseas for a higher education. With lockdowns across nations, online education is a blessing in disguise. Online education is expected to grow from $247 million in 2016 to $1.96 billion by 2021. Its users are estimated to grow to 1.6 million in 2016 to 9.6 million towards the end of 2021. Incidentally, Indians are second largest consumers on massive open online courses (MOOC). India has approximately 3.5 million students in higher education and around 900 universities catering to this need. In 2030, we will have around 14 million students, which will amount to 4 times increase in demand. To meet this, India needs 4 times the number of universities, colleges, and teachers. Similarly, by 2022, India faces a potential shortage of 250 million skilled workers across sectors by the EY or FICCI report. The demand will lead to a tremendous increase in online education.
And a smartphone is certainly not the smartest way to receive the lessons because of the disadvantage of restrictive screen size. Unless every home has a tablet, laptop, or a PC, it will be very tough to simulate a democratic classroom experience.
Also, one needs logistical arrangements for online learning, like study network connectivity, a smart device, and lab and practical application in chemistry, biology, and other such subjects can't be easily taught over the online medium.
To talk about flexibility, students have the freedom to juggle their careers and school because they aren't tied down to a fixed schedule. In a traditional classroom setting, class meeting times are set and the student has no power over this, forcing them to work their schedules around these days. Most people who choose online learning tend to have other commitments and prefer this mode of learning as it gives them power over how they will delegate their time towards the different process.
Yes, students should go for online course. One of the major benefits of online course is its much affordable cost of learning. Also, it saves a student's energy and time spent in commuting to and from college for their regular classes. And students get an opportunity of learning while earning.
But students are more engaged with the online learning materials. For the youngest members of the society and all subsequent generations, technology is a default in their lives and one they really they heavily rely on. Incorporating digital elements into the teaching plan, students can engage them on a level they easily understand.
Another superb benefit of online courses is the lower financial stress associated with them. Apart from affordable course fees, you need to spend almost nothing for studying online. You would have zero student loan, no cost of transportation, any relocation, and very minimal expenses for books and stationery. On top of that, most online learning platforms are now offering a plethora of free courseware to help you out in these difficult times.
Yeah, but at this time of the new normal, grades can also cause frustration and anxiety, especially in students whose academic performance may have suffered due to factors that are out of their control.
So, here to conclude this discussion, I think it's not an exaggeration to say that online classes are going to be the new normal, at least for the foreseeable future. But as we discussed, some positives outweigh the negatives, and making it a new normal gradually so as to make sure no one is left behind is going to be a major step forward in the right direction. Thank you.
Thank you, Group 2. That was excellent. And gradually you can see it's increased to 12 minutes now. Right? So it's all a matter of practice. And you have been performing and excelling. You have been breaking your own records, right? You've been excelling at the very same moment. So that I can see over here. So now can we have Group 1? I'll take you to your topic. It's a group 1. Whenever you are ready, you may start with your discussion. I've already changed the slide to your topic.
Our topic is social distancing, a new order. Coronavirus has affected countries throughout the world, but the world is fighting back. We still have to lot to learn about COVID-19, but we do know that practicing social distancing is important part of stopping the spread of the virus.
The virus is mainly spread when someone breathes, talk, cough, or sneeze, which send tiny droplets into the air. People standing nearby can get these droplets in their eyes, nose, or mouth. They can breathe them in because, in fact, people may not have symptoms. It is best to keep safe distance or social distance whenever you are around people you don't live with.
Most of us call it social distancing, but it can help to think of it as a physical distancing instead. Social distancing puts space between people by keeping their distance from others. People infected with the virus are less likely to spread it. The virus mainly spreads when somebody breathes, talks, coughs, and sneezes, which sends tiny droplets in their air. People standing nearby can get these droplets in their eyes, nose, mouth, or they can be breathe them in.
How to we keep safe social distance in public. Many states have re- reopened of business and restart activities. So you might wonder how to keep your social distance from others when you leave your home. Here some tips are for family. Wherever outdoor or indoor, stay at least 6 feet away from the people. Wear a mask or cloth face covering. Sit or stand at least 6 feet away from others while talking public transformation.
Use drive-through or curbside pickup when possible for food orders and shopping. Shopping online from home is another way to keep your distance from others. Choose outdoor venues for dining and activity whenever possible, as that gives the people more space to spread out.
Follow local guidelines for the government and things like how many people can gather in a group and what activities are allocated. They may differ from place to place. Also check with doctor, local health or department. How can we still be social distance? It can feel like ordinary life has changed in country countless ways. Many large group events and sport activities have been called off, and activities they weren't cancelled have a strict safety measure in place. This temporary but necessary step help communicate with their social distance.
But we don't have to feel isolated or lonely. There are there are fun ways to stay socially connected while keeping a safe distance from each other. Zoom dinner with faraway loved ones, remote clubs, and drive-by bus birthday parties are some way to be together while apart during the pandemic situation.
Help you kids stay connected with friends and extend family members to visit play dates. If you kids meet friends in person, have them small outdoor get together where they can keep a safe distance and from each other, such as doing sidewalk, art of a riding bike. You also can play fun family activities, take a walk or hike to get out or get active without physical connect. Try to find quiet street or less well-known path for this outing. It's best not go to park where lot of people gather easily like jungle gyms.
Experts have also been urging people to practice voluntary social distancing. The term has been trending on Twitter with even president of across the world. Still, people all over the US have been out in large number at restaurant, bar, and even sporting events. Suggestions more than a little confusing around what social distancing is and who should be practicing it.
Social distance are four parts: effective social distance, normal social distance, interactive social distance, or cultural distance. Effective social distance. One widespread of view of social distance is effective. Social distance is associated with effective distance. How much the member group feel for another group. The next one is normal distance. The second approach view of social distance as normal category. Normal social distance refers to the widely accepted and often usually inside and who is outside.
There is a greater public health imperative. Even people who show only mild symptoms may pass the virus to many others, pa- particularly in the early course of the infection before they even realize they are sick. So you might keep the chain of infection going right to your own older or high risk relative. You may also contribute to the number of people infected, causing the pandemic to grow rapidly and overwhelm the healthcare system.
It is possible to view these different concepts as dimensions of social distance that do not necessarily overlap. The members of two groups might interact with each other with frequently, but this doesn't always mean that they will feel close to each other normal. They will consider each other as member of the same group. In order the interactive normal affective social distance might not be linearly associated.
If you ignore guidance on social distancing, you will essentially put yourself and everyone else at a much higher risk. Experts acknowledge that social distancing is tough, especially for young people who are used to gathering in groups. But even cutting down the number of gathering and the number of people in any group will help.
Okay, ma'am. Completed.
Thank you. Right now, I hope you can self evaluate yourself moving steps ahead, right? One step at a time, and an improvisation that is happening. Now, as time does not permit us to take the interview right away, what you can do is by the next lab, where when we come in for the next lab session, what you can do is you can be prepared with a set of questions that you wish to ask to the candidates, right? As I said, there would be one question that is common: introduce yourself, but you can frame the question in any method that you like. But please decide upon which candidate, which questions you will ask, and who will ask that particular question. One, two, three to candidate one, right? If you see, if there are three members in the panel, I've given three candidates to you so that we can have equal distribution of asking questions and taking experience of the same. By Saturday, what I'll do is now, because we do not have time, enough time in this lab session. By Saturday, what I'll do is I'll update which panel, the order of uh, the interview, right? The order in which the interview will taken care of. Like, let's say first we'll have panel 5. I'm just giving an example. First panel 5, then 2, then 7, then 1. We'll do it at a random phase, but you'll be informed beforehand. Let's say by Saturday or by Tuesday, before the lab session starts, we'll have this information with you, right? I hope that's clear. Now, because you have your mid semester exams next week, right? So you have your mid semester exams next week. So I'll be sharing a schedule for our book review in the week of 14th September. So in between 14th September and 19th September, we have our book review. So in case you have not completed and you have not uploaded the information which is required, that is a handwritten book review and a PowerPoint PPT of the same, PowerPoint presentation for the same, kindly complete it before the 14th of September. That's the last date to do that work. And in that week, so the week of 14th September, whenever your lab session comes in that week, you'll be given or you are supposed to do your book review. A schedule will be shared with you soon enough. Right? Once the mid-semester exam commences from Monday, by Tuesday or Wednesday, you'll get the schedule for your book review. I hope we do not have any doubts for the same. I hope we do not have any doubts for the same. Thank God.